Hello, welcome to Demon Reviews episode 142. Insert your own jokes there. I'm your host, Springy, and joining us today is our very special guest.
Frankly, Bill, hi.
Hi. Well, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me on. I love doing these types of things, and I appreciate the invite for sure.
Awesome. And we're so happy to have you here. And technically, you already answered the first, technically, the next question, which was, have you ever been interviewed before? So,
Yes, I have.
awesome. Well, next question. It's a very hard hitting question, very nitty gritty. Um, would you rather eat Cheetos or go on a hike?
Cheetos.
Yeah,
Yeah, I I like outdoorsy. I like sport, going out, doing things, but I don't like hiking.
yeah, I get that. Um, so people can somewhat assume from the past people we've had on the show you are a cosplayer in some. You are a cosplayer, correct?
I like to think so. I still have slight recourse calling myself that, as I've only ever still done one cosplay, the Ironman suit, but they are on the line of more complicated cosplays.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as easy as changing, getting a couple different Spider-Man suits, or
Mm-hmm.
there's a little bit more to them, and it's
Yeah,
a weird little corner.
yeah.
But I still, I think I call myself a cosplayer for sure.
Well, do you have any other new ones planned on doing, like either more Iron Man suits or different ones in general?
Absolutely. I have a second Iron Man suit in work. It's printed already. I just got to wait for my stuff to get here to start continuing to work on it. I have a third Iron Man suit planned. Can't really talk too much about that. It's secret. And I have other cosplays planned. I have a DC Batman related cosplay in work. Maybe two, because it uses elements from a couple. If I change a couple things, it's two different characters,
Yeah,
so that'll be nice. And then some anime related cosplays. So I definitely want to branch out and
yeah.
have fun with that.
Awesome. Well, I know I'm excited to see them because I've been a fan of yours for a little bit now, so I'm happy to have you on here. So,
Well, thank you. Again, it's nice to be on. I appreciate it.
uh, so like you said before, you go by Frankly Built on the social media juggernauts of the world. Why did you choose that name over Tony Stark Lover 97 or something like that, or anything else?
Or like new masters. So you're the first one to actually ask where the name came from. So good job. um, well, me and a buddy of mine went through a bunch of different names when I was starting the channel, and the initial social media channel was my YouTube, and I was slowly kind of converting my Instagram over to mirror the YouTube, and it was a car channel about working on cars, modifying stuff. But I wanted it to be a channel about me just working with my hands, working on mechanics, working on just different things. So I wanted it to be a little bit of a broader. I didn't want it to be like Frank fixes that,
Yeah.
where narrow. I wanted it to be expandable, and we just started kind of going over names. And my middle name is Lee, Lee, Frank Lee.
Hmm.
So we kind of played with that, and I think he was the one who said, maybe frankly built. You're building stuff, and you're being frank about it, frankly. And it just kind of we pitched it around. I kind of asked my wife. I kind of asked a couple of like, does that sound weird? They're like, no, I can kind of get
Yeah.
it, and we rolled with it.
Awesome.
Not as much R&D in as people might think. It just was a lot of back and forth text between me and a friend. So
Uh,
that's about it.
yeah, trust us over here. We completely understand that. The how the show became was a lot of back and forth, name
Yeah,
creation and stuff. So that's completely understandable.
it wasn't like workshopped in a think tank and
No. uh, so people might also know you if they don't know you from Instagram or from YouTube that you're also on the tickety talkities as well. Why did you since that's a newer platform? Why did you start that in the first place?
the ticker talker.
Yeah.
So it was recommended to me by a friend. He goes by Geek's Gonna Geek on Instagram, and he had a big social media platform on Instagram, started a website, and he helped promote me a lot on it. He liked my cosplay, he liked my like Ironman suit, and he turned into a pretty good friend. He had suggested to somebody else. I don't know if you've ever seen him. I believe his name's Dominic something. He's a little kid who would dress up in Mandalorian armor and walk around Disney. You might have seen one of his videos. He also had like the little baby Yoda basket floating next to him. It's adorable. His dad would make him all these different cosplays and dress him up, and the kid loved it. He also was kind of promoting him and it suggested to him, hey, you should go on TikTok. And the kid kind of blew up because of it. Because I didn't know it at the time, but there was a massive cosplay community on TikTok. I had no idea. I thought it was just a bunch of teenage girls dancing. Like that's all I really thought TikTok was.
Mm-hmm.
And duetting with songs and stuff. And so he's like, no, there's a huge cosplay community because you can have fun in your costume. Share it with people. That actually makes sense. Okay. So I started the TikTok and I started sharing my suit, and it all tanked. It all bombed. It was awful. Didn't really know how to use it. I was recycling content, and I don't know. I wasn't having fun. I wasn't taking TikTok for what it was, which was just fun. I was trying to take it too seriously, like YouTube. So I kind of just buried it for a few. I worked on it a little bit. One video, okay, and then I just like ignored it for probably a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually have it right here, a different one. My power orb from the Guardians of the Galaxy power orb. This isn't the one in the video. This is a new one. But I posted a video on this thing, and that was the end of it. Like that, or the start of it, I guess. This thing blew up. Like people were like, "Oh my god, you made that? What you treated?" And it just that's what started to jump the channel or the TikTok, and I realized like I could be a lot more laid back on TikTok. It didn't have to be this choreographed or planned out tutorial video and get everything set and the lighting right. I could just grab my phone and oh hey guys, I'm making this thing. It does this. Take care, and people seem to like it. So that's what I kept doing. I still haven't done any dances on TikTok, so I guess I haven't fully committed. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. A long time ago, when back in not back in the day, but I told my teacher about the TikToks and everything, and they're like, wait, you can actually do more than it's more than just like it's the same reaction as you did, and he was just like dumbfounded, and I showed him like some of mine, and he was like, oh, there is actually something that's not
Yeah,
just
there are.
half naked, maybe appropriate girls on
I mean,
there.
they're still there. It's definitely there's. I'll be scrolling, and because I follow this, you know, I follow cosplay girl A, who's a friend. Like it
Hmm.
also thinks I like this girl who is a model, or so you still get those
Yeah.
suggestions that branch off of who you follow,
Hmm.
because that cosplay girl also has an OnlyFans, so it just
It
it
it's
cascades. So,
it goes
you
out
know, but
again. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So you'll still be swiping and be like, and that's like a 15-year-old girl. All right, keep going. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a video. So you
Yeah.
do have to still go through the weeds,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah. There's car talk, there's maker talk, 3D print talk, cosplay talk.
Yeah.
That there's just movie review talk and spoil tons of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's fun. I tell people that if some people rag on me at work, they're like, wait, you're on TikTok. I'm like, hold up, let me explain.
What up? Wait a minute.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. That that's again completely understandable. So now I have to say the stereotypical YouTube thing. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon. If you have any questions for our lovely guest here, put them in the comment section below. And if they're
Yes, please.
appropriate, well, if we have him back onto the show, we'll ask him your questions. And don't forget to follow him on all the social media platforms. Then there'll be a way to get to all of them in the description below.
Thank you.
Um, well, I mean, but the next question is, what is one of the hardest things about getting into one of your suits?
The legs. The legs are the hardest part. Yeah, I can say that for sure.
Yeah.
Everything else up top, you have access to. I can reach. I can reach over and touch my shoulder. I can touch my head. I can buckle this, buckle that.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the legs on is tricky because you have to first put the thighs on, which then completely changes my mobility in my hips and my knees. Then I have to get my leg through the shin, but now I'm off balance because the shoe I'm wearing is a little taller. then the foot that doesn't have the shoe, and then I gotta lean over. Yeah, the legs. It's
Yeah.
not fun. Yeah,
That that makes complete sense to me. Like,
it's
uh,
tricky. It's everything else goes on easy. I put the torso on, buckle some things, plug the helmet in, slide the arms on. The arms can be tricky too. The legs are definitely the annoying part. There's a lot of TikTok videos I filmed, or even YouTube videos I filmed where I have the upper half on. You can't tell I don't have the lower half on. I'm just jeans or something
hmm
because I feel like putting them on, and I just don't let the camera see it.
oh, I again, I completely understand. I have one where it's like a full plush suit, and it's like you can't see my legs. Why put these on and be deal with them? You know, like
Right, it makes sense.
yeah. Um, Next up is going to be coming from a past guest, a Mr. Zoom underscore 2028. It's a very long, very complicated question. Um, Bacon question mark.
Who says no?
We've
Yes.
we've gotten some no's, I swear, and they're
And were
from
they were
Americans as
they
well.
were they demons? Were they
I know. Well,
what?
I mean, show's title, so I mean technically. But uh, so next up, coming from the same past guests, it's a longer and more complicated question. Peanut butter question mark.
No. I am not a peanut butter fan. Yeah,
Huh,
I'm not.
interesting. Interesting.
Yep.
So
I
no
was
peanut
expecting the
butter
screen.
going into suit.
No, no peanut butter going in the scene, unfortunately. I was expecting the screen to go black and be like, and we're close out.
And we're
Um,
done. We end on peanut butter is evil.
done.
Um,
Bye. Good night. Unsubscribe or something. Nope.
yeah, nah.
Not a fan.
Makes sense. Everybody has their own things. So next up is a question we kind of cooked together. uh, Bacon and peanut butter question mark.
Still a no. The bacon does bring it up. Obviously, it's enough of bacon off. I'm not like allergic, disgusting. So if it was like 90 something percent bacon and then like maybe a layer of just a thin layer of peanut butter, I could tolerate it. But the bacon's pretty overpowering, so
Yeah,
you still had bacon.
yeah,
It's a win. It's a win.
yeah. Bacon's always a win in my book as well.
Oh, for sure.
Uh, have you gone to any conventions before?
Yes, but I know you probably mean in the suit, so no.
Well, either way.
I have
I mean, either way,
yeah,
really.
I did two Comic Cons in Okinawa, Japan, but they were kind of on base Comic Cons, so they weren't like full fledged um, big events. And then the first Comic Con I really went to was in London, MCM Comic Con. I went there twice,
Mhm.
and I was planning on the third time, but then COVID.
Yeah.
The third time I was going to go, that was with the suit. That was going to be the premiere debut of the suit,
hmm
but COVID happened, and this or next weekend actually is Raleigh Galaxy Con in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I'm going to that. But the suit won't be done. I'm just going as myself. I'm going with Emily the engineer, K Creations. They're coming. She's coming over to visit. He's flying over from California to visit, and we're gonna go on Saturday to the Galaxy Con. We might all wear our helmets. You know, we might like bring some props or something, like an Ironman. Have some fun with it. But we're going to kind of just attend and enjoy it instead of having to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And then at the end of August, I'm flying over to Me and Emily are flying over to California to go to Silicon in San Jose, Silicon Comic Con. So that'll be with the suits. That's going to be like the real. Me and Emily, neither me or Emily have ever been to a Comic Con in our suits. Emily's never been to a Comic Con, period. So
That sounds
excited.
fun. Well, next up, what is one of the best things? Like, what's one of your favorite things you've made so far?
Obviously, the suit. So I'll disregard that one because
Mhm.
um, my battle damaged helmet. That is still like my pride and joy. I love that thing. I love how it looks. Like I enjoy making that. And then of recently, my the Blades of Chaos that I made. I love those.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy with how those came out. It's a prop wise, it's probably a toss up between the Blades of Chaos and my Monster Hunter Jawblade, that really big sword I made.
Oh.
I they're my two little children. I love them equally.
Yeah, makes complete sense. I mean, they, like I don't know franchises that well, but I did see them like as like when you're making the videos and stuff, and they look amazing. I have to say.
I am floored with as I was painting the jaw blade to make it look like bone, like a dinosaur bone or jaw, or whatever. Um, and the paint started to really lay down nice. It was all spray, doing weird techniques and angles to get it to become the. This is working, and you just get so into it. I'm like, this is, oh, okay, wait, oh, and it's such a cool feeling when you start nearing the end of the sword, and it went from a raw print to the completed painted sword in like 4 hours. Um, because I was just in the zone and it was fun. It was just a fun paint.
Awesome. Well, next up is going to be coming from a past guest as well. You're going to be the star of a movie. Who would you want your co-star to be, and what genre of movie would it be?
Hmm, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm, who would I want to co-star?
You can either be a friend or an actor or actress, whichever way you wish.
Um, that is tricky. I very much enjoy watching Chris Evans. Right, it's probably an easy answer, but like he would tower over me. He's huge. Like, but if there was some way that dynamic could work, whatever way, that'd be pretty entertaining. Not actor would probably be my buddy because he is one of the funniest people I know, and it would just be fantastic. We could probably be a uh, straight face, funny face kind of situation,
Mm-hmm.
and regardless, probably a comedy. Why not? Let's have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Or an action comedy action maybe something like the other guys or something along that lines,
Yeah.
along those lines.
Awesome. Well, this next question is also going from a past guest, a Harley F. Quinn. I'm getting the right mental mind space to say this one. What are those?
It's a cool chair.
Yeah.
I only have one of thing. There's no these are lights, but yeah, there's a lot of those in this room right now. Unfortunately, this thing, little Loki crown.
Awesome. Um,
What are
Next,
those?
I know, right? Ironically, that came from the same interview as the bacon question.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Um, Now this coming from one of our fans on the Instagrams, a Charlie underscore Aronson 99. Well, at least let's hope they're still a fan. If not, then wow. Um, what is one thing you regret doing on camera?
Nothing. I I I I I don't know. I mean, I obviously have my mess ups and my bloopers, but nothing I've ever actually put out there in a social media sense.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. I actually don't think there's anything that I think could ever pop up or anything that somebody could show me in a few years and be like, "You really did that," and be like, um, I in a social media sense or putting or video sense, I don't embarrass that easy. I've always been pretty comfortable in front of a camera, talking to a camera, recording videos and stuff. Um, this can be sometimes when people find out if I make a new friend or some new people come around or a new job somewhere, and there's always that little bit of hesitation once you once they find out what I do, like, wait, you cosplay? So because you're never sure how people are gonna react because
Yeah.
you don't know. Some people judge it. Some people are like, what do you wait, what? So there's always that little bit. I don't want to call it embarrassment, but just like almost annoyance. Like, oh, I really hope they like don't rag on me for this, like, because
Hmm.
it's annoying. Not embarrassing. It's just like, okay, I guess I have to deal with this now.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, actually today, literally today, a few people at work had found out about this. So
Awesome. Next up is who from TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, so on and so forth, would you like to do a IRL collaboration with who you haven't done one with before? Because I know you've done a few before. So.
um, like a legitimate collaboration, working together, maybe doing something, having them in like we are both invested in the video.
Yeah, like you're both in the same room. You're either making a video or you're doing like a photo shoot or just having fun. You know.
I still will holding out for Adam Savage. I think it would be amazing to build anything with him. That would be the dream.
Hmm.
Just even if it's like today we're building a wire, it just I'm sure it would still be like the best time of my
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
So
Well, next up is have you ever taken any suggestions for prints before? Like, has somebody ever been like, "Oh, you should print XYZ," and then something came about from that or something?
absolutely. The first big suggestion I took from people was my dragons Berserk.
Hmm.
I had never heard of it. I like I had heard of the anime, the manga. I just never could. I wouldn't be able to identify it. If somebody showed me a thing, but somebody sent me um, a request on Instagram. Like, hey, have you ever thought about making this giant sword from Berserk? And he sent me a picture of it. That is awesome. I have never seen that. Checked around, found the files for it. Was like, yeah, yeah, no, I'll print. Okay, yeah, I'll print this. And in the build video on YouTube, I even say that I'm like, I haven't read this manga. Awesome. I wanted to make this. Here it is. And then the second one probably was the Zangetsu from Bleach. And I knew what that was. I just didn't have much interest in printing it. But enough people on TikTok bugged me. It was like all people.
Hmm.
So that I finally made it.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of people don't I feel a lot of people assume that this is my full-time job,
Hmm.
which I kind of get. I do put out a lot of content. It would be awesome if it was, but I'm still in that spot of this where I can still make whatever I want. This isn't a job, so I can say I don't need to make this thing because it's pop culture or new or pop.
Hmm.
Look at something and be like, I don't really want to make that. I don't have interest in. I don't have to.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, what's one of the biggest compliments you've ever gotten?
Whoa. Hmm. Hmm. Just yeah, a lot of people I do see the comment that I have the best Ironman suit replica or recreation that they've seen that pops up, on my YouTube. And while I very much do disagree because I can show very quickly show them of better ones or ones that I am trying to reach the level of,
Hmm.
that's still just a huge compliment. That's it's awesome to hear that something I made, like, people that appreciate or look at and are like, wow, that looks really awesome. Um,
Hmm.
so it's really cool to get those types of compliments, and keeps me going, just motivated. Um, the biggest indirect compliment I guess I got was winning the best recreation at the online for my Iron Man suit. Like that was a massive indirect compliment saying that I had that best recreation per this suit. So that was pretty cool.
Awesome. And anytime I say awesome or amazing, I do mean it, even though I keep saying the same two words. Those are just the only two words I seem
Totally fine.
to know. um, What is one of the biggest misconceptions about you, or like how, or anything you've made?
Um, there's two there. I have two answers for that. One, people think I'm rich. Oh boy, do I wish. If I was rich, I wouldn't be doing this probably. Like, like, or maybe not so rich, not rich, but like people think I am very much more well off than just six figure and above income to have a 3D printer and make stuff. They'll see that. They'll see people will see some of my YouTube videos, the quicker YouTube videos where it's just like me showing things and like, oh my God, he must have spent tens of thousands of dollars on that room. What it must be like to have throwaway. Yo, I made this stuff. I didn't buy this stuff. Um,
Yeah.
so dispelling that's also really fun, especially when you get into a conversation with somebody about it and questions. Like, some people try to be snarky or think I'm trying to show off. And YouTube kind of is a show off, yes, but I'm not showing off in that. Hey, look at all this cool stuff I had. No, it's hey, look at all this cool stuff I have. Do you want to learn how to make it? Like
Yeah.
there is a continuation to that. Um, and then I've gotten into cool conversations with people like that. Like, oh my God, giant sword. Like, here you go, dude. Yes, you can. And then oh God, I had two, and I don't even know what the second one was. That I have I'm rich or a lot of money or whatever, and that I know how to 3D model. That's the other weird thing. People think I know how to design this and I 3D model all this. I have none. Like I can manipulate 3D models. Obviously, you need to 3D like it's tagging and that type of stuff. I don't know how to craft in Blender or Zebra, Maya, and actually 3D models. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah. Makes sense. Like, I know, I'm planning on doing a cosplay thing, and like watching like some of your videos and like one other person, I've gotten like inspired to like actually incorporate a 3D printed thing into it because I'm planning on doing somewhat like a Baraka Wolverine esque thing because it's not like a combination with the characters. It's just like how the gimmick's gonna work.
Huh.
It's like one big blade on each arm, but like they can fold in like those toy lightsabers and then just flick them out.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's gonna be cool.
I'm excited. I'm excited for that thing. Still need to make it. Um, but yeah. Um, so try and make sure I don't go over the same thing 8 times. So, because some questions might accidentally do that in case a certain point was brought up, and most of the time they were. So, I think yeah. So we're done with the list. So that means there's only a few more questions left to go, and that's why I was looking off to the side. My phone had my questions, and they're over here. Um, so now we're on to the final 4 questions here. Um, do you the first one is, do you have any questions for me as an individual or about the show in general?
Um, not really off the top of my head. Um, why? Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, kind of. Um, why? 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 Why this? Why are we here? Why'd you
Why?
start this?
Oh
Yeah,
well.
why? Why are we here?
So so how the show was made was a crazy idea I had in the middle of the night, and basically, and like I just assumed like we'd get 2 episodes and we're done, because I was talking with my friend about it, and he was and I was like, we're probably gonna get like 1 or 2, and then we're gonna be done. 142 episodes later. um,
Still going.
exactly.
Still going. It,
Still
it's
going.
it's weird. And can I ask, do you enjoy doing this?
Well, if I didn't, I would not be doing this still. But yeah,
Well,
I've been enjoying this the whole
I
time. I
totally
like getting to meet awesome people like yourself and just having fun. Like, to me, like, it's not like money is always great, but it's not
money.
about
Oh
that.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's.
and so far we have not gotten any, so that is not. So if I know, that's not my. my reasoning for doing this because we don't get
But
any.
you know what? I think there's a little stigma around that
Mm-hmm.
where people, so what if I make money off of this? You mean I
Yeah.
can, or people will say you're just in this for the money. It's like, no, there's definitely probably easier and less stressful ways to go for sure. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and but you mean I can make money off of doing something I enjoy? Yeah,
Gotta do
I'm
that.
gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would do the same thing. You don't particularly might not enjoy this or cosplay or 3D printing, but I'm sure there's something you do enjoy. And if somebody was like, "Hey, you enjoy doing, and also here's money," what sane person wouldn't say yes?
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
but on the flip, you said you wouldn't be doing this if you didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Plenty of people start YouTube channels because they think they're going to make money off of it, even though they don't actually enjoy it. Usually, you can
Yeah.
see right through that stuff, and
Oh yeah.
it doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing good because you enjoy doing this, and it's not a chore; it's fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And like the main reason why we started it was to get like smaller creators into like the bigger leagues of like because like
that's awesome.
there are like those like rare cosplay shows and stuff like that where it's like either like it's a con show hosted by cosplayers or something like that or like build this thing in an hour or like a face off esque show where there was like 2 seasons of it or something. Just trying to get people up to that level where they're also invited to it. Like we try to bring people up, not drag them down. Drag them down to our level. Um,
I think you just gave me an idea I think you just really gave me a cool idea that I might talk to you about later.
ooh,
Hmm.
awesome.
That was a weird flip. Um, as by as you're saying, get smaller creators, moving them up to larger creators.
Mm.
Um, I'd say I'm probably a mid-range creator at this point.
Yeah.
I'm not like top level. I'm not by any means, but I don't think I'm a small account
Oh
creator
no.
anymore. I've moved past that.
Oh no,
Um,
no. Like and we also ask everybody because
yeah,
some
no,
people could also help us drag up and all around.
no, it wasn't,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't an
Oh,
insult.
thank
No,
God.
I understand what you mean. What I meant was, it was weird. Um, kind of, it almost felt like it happened overnight because
Mhm.
I'd follow somebody on Instagram and then um, they'd tag me in a post saying, "Oh my God, Frank," they'd be happy that I follow them, and I slowly started.
Mhm.
I've become that little bit of larger
Mhm.
creator that people are trying to, and I don't know when it happened. I don't know if it was associated with a number.
Mhm.
Oh, you need to have 100,000 to have that impact. So
Yeah.
it was really cool to wake up and like start to see that, and it's so cool getting tagged in that type of stuff, like that, like somebody's happy that I followed them, or like I looking at their stuff, and it was weird to transition into that, start to realize that I could also, by sharing those smaller accounts, help them out too, because plenty of people helped me out when I was growing. So I try to share those accounts and drag those people up too when I can.
Yeah. Exactly. Like that. Like literally, like that was like the pitch to my friend for starting the show is just trying to help because like in the beginning we were mainly our name was 8 times longer. Um, and also we were trying to help like very like they're only on TikTok and like their realm is only there, and then like trying to help them get out more so it's not so like if
That's
the app dies like Vine did, there's not like a billion people trying to
exactly.
survive or
They
something.
lose it immediately. Well, yeah.
Mm,
I think eventually, I think in the next few years, TikTok's probably going to wind
yeah,
down. It has to. It's the norm,
yeah,
But being multifaceted and being able to move around social media platforms definitely is beneficial.
yeah.
Looking to grow, you have to treat all three differently. YouTube is a different beast than Instagram, is a different
Mm,
beast than TikTok. Don't even get me
yeah,
started on Twitter or Twitch. Twitter is a toxic cesspool of full people, and I don't like Twitch. I just don't do Twitch, so
yeah,
it's not my thing.
yeah,
Um, it's different. It's tricky.
yeah.
It's a juggling act for sure.
Oh yeah, like I learned that somewhat the hard way from like being a TikTok creator and then being like, hey, we're gonna start a YouTube channel. it's a very different field,
Completely
very
different. It's
much.
so
It
different. The algorithms and
yeah,
oh god.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then we also have some guests who like have return a lot of times because like we also have character interviews, which are like they're pretending to be X character in like a group of
That's
people.
cool. Okay.
Like right, like for example, I swear I'm working on it because I know we had a vote and they're like number two in the vote, and I'm working on it. A Spider Verse one, and it'd be like so far we have two, but like we're trying to get like different people who cosplay different versions of Spider-Man, or even just the same one at this point. Um, and just like get them together. They're pretending to be their character, like their version of Spider-Man. And I always put a disclaimer beforehand, like in a
That's funny.
pre-recorded
That'd be
thing.
fun. That'd be funny having like a couple different windows of them popping up. That'd be better, pretty entertaining of
Yeah,
them arguing like, "What do you mean your Uncle Ben's still alive?" Or
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
You're a
but
girl,
I'm a
stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. I
We
am a
don't.
spider.
Yeah,
I'm man
I am
spider, not spider.
exactly. See, Spider Ham, all that fun stuff. And yeah, and like we do those. We also do like what we call demon media, which is where we just kind of talk about some shows, movies, video games, stuff like that. And again, I try to make it not my show. I try to make it our show. That's why like anytime I'm communicating, I'm communicating and like I'm like saying like we and our and stuff like that because it's
Yeah,
not just me. I swear, even though I'm the main person, but that's not the point here. Um, but yeah, I always try to help as many people as I can. Like I always offer, hey, you want to do these? And they're like, eh, eh. But life happens. But
yeah,
yeah, that's just
absolutely.
the type of stuff we do. So, do you have any other questions for us about anything?
Not at this time. Um, might think of some if you ever have me back on. I'm sure I might have some after that, but
Awesome.
no, I'm
Um,
tapped.
awesome. Well, you kind of just lead us into the next question of: would you ever like to return to the show in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Perfect, because you're
bro.
scheduled for 18 more things. Good.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool.
Uh,
I'm gonna give you my number of my accountant. Uh,
yeah.
she
Oh
will she
god.
will bill you. And
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah.
Because that's how this works. Um. um. So the next question is, who would you like to see on the show in the future?
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Couple names come to mind.
Hmm.
Trying to think who would enjoy this. Hmm. Honestly, I'd like to see one of my buddy Danny. Like I said, I mentioned him before, CTK Creations. I'd actually like to see him. I can figure out his social media. He also makes Ironman. But he has a really cool prop. I won't spoil it. I'll let you see it and
Hmm.
see it. Um, but I think he'd enjoy being interviewed. I don't think he's ever been on one of these. Be
Oh,
kind of fun.
awesome. Well, we'll write it down and we will send him an invite as soon as possible.
Awesome, awesome.
Lastly is going to be, do you have any questions for a future guest?
Hmm. Well, we've already asked Bacon, so you kind of took can't really use that. Questions for a future guest.
Yeah.
Hmm. 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 That's the generic one. Maybe nobody's ever asked it. If you could pick one superpower, what would you have?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. We need to write that down and put it on the guest list. That sounds like it's like VIPs only, but it's just like for we both guest questions, so we don't lose them.
However, the superpower can't be having money. So
Yeah,
sorry, Batman.
yeah. Yeah,
and Ironman.
yeah. Depends on who you talk to on like about different superpowers. But
Their
um,
superpower is intelligence.
mm,
Is
how
it?
far is like psychic ability intelligence, or is it just like you can set the VCR? Like, what kind of intelligence are we talking about here? Oh man. But with that, thank you so much for being on the show. I highly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it too.
Of course, and we're happy to hear that. And thank you all, staring at the camera, because that's what you do exactly, for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Don't forget to follow this lovely man on all the social media platforms. Every single one of them. Every one. And at least, okay, that's awesome. And at least I will see you in next video. Bye bye.